I think you guys got plenty of light.
Hello there. Welcome back.
I'm good.
This is Russell Emery, aka EM Fresh, for Fresh to the Extreme. And today I am riding at Montour Woods Trails in Coraopolis, Pennsylvania. And it is just right outside of Pittsburgh. Actually, to me, it is Pittsburgh, basically. And riding with Adam there in the front. He took off. My legs are tight. And also in this video, you'll see Doug. And we're here to do a quick pre-season rip. I've never rode here before. And so Adam is showing me this hidden gem here. So as you can see, it's pretty flowy. The trees have not bloomed yet. Kind of nippy. I'm trying to catch up. Adam, he's taking off. The Adam can rip. And again, he is riding a Kenevo. That's a very well spec'd Kenevo. I'm riding a Turbo Levo, and so is Doug right behind me. You'll see him come into view a few times when I'm going too slow. All right. A lot of little routes, a lot of little fast sections here. And of course, we're riding e-bikes, but you can easily ride an XC bike here. Actually, I think it'd be well designed for an XC bike. And so it looks like this is kind of like a conservatory or conservation area for, you know, the wildlife near Pittsburgh. And it's you can see here the planes are landing. It's near the Pittsburgh airport out here. All right, I'm trying to get used to the ground.
You see that?
Get my shocks dialed in here. I haven't ridden my Turbo Levo for a while because I've been focusing on the pedal bike, my XC bike. Getting in shape for that race if you are into start racing, even though I'm not fast at all. Just trying to stay motivated and stay excited for my health for the most part. And riding e-bikes is one of those things that actually helps with that. Because when your legs are tired, you can just hop on your e-bike and still get a nice cardio workout. Okay. And it's taking off, buddy. A little muddy areas. This is a cool spot with the, it's kind of like a suspended bridge. Don't stop and think that that's like a, it's solid right there. It's not. It probably goes down 2-3 feet on the side. You'll see the grass there. Ask me how I know. It's usually marshy and wet, I was told. And so you don't want to step off the side there. I get my balance right. Best to go as fast as possible. Don't go too slow so you'll go off the edge there. It's not that bad though. All right. Adam has his helmet on. You can tell when he puts his helmet on, he's about to get real in some spots. Sometimes I ask myself, maybe I should have wore my, or tell myself, maybe I should have wore my helmet, my full face.
At least they put
I'm glad they put the chicken wire. I hate bridges. My thing is that where I normally ride at my local trail is Cooper's Rock. They have some bridges there, but they get wet and mossy. And so don't go sliding across or flying across there. You will slide off. It's like ice. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is. Winter, summer, spring, fall. And yeah, you will slide off the side. And it's scary because there's no rails on them. You'll slide into like a white water rapid. And that's your ass, basically. But anyway, it's kind of slick. We're taking it easy. Or they're taking it easy, they say, but yeah, because they go really, 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 really fast. I think sometimes they won't mention it, But I think they're kind of said, why is Russ not going fast enough? Well, that's because, one, I haven't rode here before, and then you just got to know where you're going to, you know. The next few times I ride here, or ride in a new place, I'll get faster and faster and faster. There's Doug right there. I think he want to get some rowdiness. All right. Here we go. Here's a little fast section for you. Here we go. This is better than I thought it would be coming out here. Yeah, Pittsburgh has some nice places to ride. You don't really hear too much about Pittsburgh's trails, but then they have a lot of nice areas to ride. And there's a lot of people in there in Pittsburgh, like in the county, like over 3 million in this area alone. But one of the cool things about Pittsburgh area and Allegheny County, Westmoreland, it's like they know how to put the whoever designed Pittsburgh knows how to mix like the city with the nature, so you can't tell that many people live here. It looks like you're just cruising to the countryside. Even when you get into the city, when you go through those tunnels and all those bridges, and you'll see the downtown Pittsburgh, but you go out a little bit, it feels like you're in West Virginia, you know. And so
a different feel.
and we're trying to find where the trail reconnects back to. I just cut that part out because we were riding around for a few. All right. All right, so we're trying to follow the Strava. It looks like they did some work here and the trails moved. And so it looks like they linked back up. Look, Adam found the trail. I think Doug found the trail too. It's really steep, by the way. It doesn't looks like it's flat. That's why we're going slow. And it's also very, 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 very slick. All right. Some little climbs here.
Oh my God.
I didn't make it. I'm in the wrong gear. Yes, you can still not make it up the gear if you're in the wrong gear on the turbo bikes or the e-bike. So, and key with those, it's not like a electric where you can press the throttle and it's like a motorcycle. It'll just go. You got to pedal with a Turbo Levo, and albeit not as hard. Yep, I put a lot of miles on this Turbo Levo. If you watch my videos, I think I put nearly, probably 8,000 miles on this since last year. I have a lot of videos that you guys haven't seen yet on here, but also, if you haven't yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you like these videos. And also the notification bell there, because sometimes people will ask me, oh, you didn't put any videos on. Well, I didn't know why, but it looks like just due to the changes in Apple's JavaScript or whatever, when you press the button, Apple blocks the JavaScript. So, or when you I get very technical here. I'm just going to keep that. Just press the notification bell, basically. I'm about to go into nerd JavaScript mode. All right. So there's some hikers. You can walk on this trail. Hikers can walk on this trail too. It's not a mountain bike only trail. Unlike Western Woods back in where I live, they have a new trail system they're building right near the like Mon General Hospital there, and across from the Suncrest Town Center. And so we'll have people like doctors, take a nice break from their, like a lunch break, and walk on the trails there. And those trails specifically are not for hiking. Now you can go to Baker's Ridge across, but of course that's not convenient. They don't have a bridge or anything. But I assure you, I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything. Please, do not walk on that trail at all. If you're a hiker, it's a mountain bike only trail. And if you just search YouTube why a hiker should not walk on a mountain bike only trail. Western Woods is not. And I'll make a video into how to tell if you're confused if it is a mountain bike only trail versus a hiker and biker trail. I'll show you how to know. Sometimes there's no signs, but At Western Woods, they do have a giant signs that say do not walk down the trail because we have very, very, very fast people. I'm getting fast. I'm not the fastest, but like from the top to the bottom of that particular trail, I mean, people can take that trail in 23 seconds. It take me about a minute to go down, but that's how fast that people are riding, and they can't stop. And again, if you check YouTube, just search biking accidents. That's where most of the biking accidents happen. Is hikers are walking on like downhill biking trails. They ignore the signs or whatever, and the hikers don't get hurt, but the bikers will come flying down at 60 miles an hour. I kid you not, 60 miles an hour, and see the biker and then slam, or see the hikers and then slam into a tree. And one guy got paralyzed, and some people die from it because it's just so, they're going so fast. So just check the signs. No one's trying to be mean, but there's a lot of places to hike, especially in Morgantown. And here, it goes to a lot of places, but some places are specifically designed, or some trails, okay, or specifically designed for that. I used to not take it lightly till I almost hit someone on the trail, and then they were yelling at me like I was wrong, but I had to kindly show, because I'm a person of color, I can't yell back at anybody, because then cops will be called, okay, and so ask me how I know. So I kindly had to say, please do not walk on the, and I had to take them and show them the signs and everything, and so they don't like it, but it's for the safety, and I honestly don't care if a hiker's on it, but like I said, I almost hit someone, and I could not stop. I didn't have my best. I had my fast rolling tires with not much traction, excuse me. And I'm watching Adam here. I'm getting some adrenaline, some endorphins. So I'm trying to talk and ride or watch at the same time, or talk at the same time, and so. But anyway, I think you guys got the point. I'm going to keep saying over and over again because it just sucks when you hear about someone dying for stupid reasons. And yeah, that's why most of the mountain bike trails are out far, 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 far away from civilization because of that very reason. And so anyway, there's some fast sections. This is actually a pretty long trail system, actually. I already rode today on my gravel bike, by the way. I got a new gravel bike, by the way, and it's called a Topstone by Cannondale. And so I've been riding that. So this is my, I usually try to ride one long one per week. I'm trying to get ride longer, what I'm saying, get more endurance when I'm the beginning of the week anyway. And then because I like to ride e-bikes too, because it's just fun to do. It's just so fast. You can just like unwind, and so just chill, enjoy, explore. We can explore new trails. If you go the wrong direction or something, you can recycle back around. And that's my main reason why I ride. I think most people are surprised that when I ride, I'm noticing this, that they see me ride my e-bike, but they don't see me riding my high tower, my new XC bike or gravel bike. The Rebel and the high tower is my main bikes to ride, depending on the terrain. And so I can actually sort of get by. I'm not the fastest person, but I can keep a steady pace and ride. But that's because I ride both. I ride both of them, and I normally only ride the e-bikes when I'm with Adam. We're just gonna have some fun. It's kind of like our dirt bike exercise because you get really good, very, very good cardio workout. Believe it or not, most people don't think that you do, but you do. You don't, but you do. You never I was, like I said, if you watch my videos, I was 280 pounds there for a while. And I would not be, I'm approaching 215 as of this video right now. I'm like, with clothes on. Like, so you know, so it's helped me out majorly. And it's not that I'm becoming a racer or want to do this or that. It's just to keep moving. You just got to move. And when you get older, I keep forgetting that I am getting older. You know, I'm about to turn 46 here. That you got to keep moving. When you reach a certain age, I think it was when I turned 43, my metabolism just
slow down going down the hill.
totally stopped. You know, it actually stopped before I had a sedentary lifestyle because I was. I do a lot of coding and programming. I do a lot of things because I work basically for myself and have a few businesses that I run at the same time. And so I usually work alone and sitting a long time, you know, long periods of time, not moving. And now I can barely sit still when I'm for a long period of time. Now I used to do it 12, 20 hours on coding session, or I'm doing video editing, you know. So, but anyways, kind of muddy. It's kind of slipping and sliding around a little bit. I got my big tires on. I got the DHFs with the double down casing. But when that mud is pretty wet, it gets clogged. It clogs the lugs up, and so it's like you don't even have them because it makes it it's caked up so much that it makes it feel like you don't have any traction. And so I've been testing tires out a lot, and so I've been, especially on my XC bike, because I've noticed that there's different types of tires. You don't really notice these things, and you just normally use what they put on your bike. And then before, when I was really heavy, I used to get pinch flats and flats all the time when I first started. But then I realized there was different types of tires, different casings and whatnot. And and just subscribe to my channel so you can get notification when those videos come out. But because I'm going to review a whole bunch of different tires from different companies, and Maxxis is not the only. I pretty much ride Maxxis because they have, I think, the strongest tire. You don't need cush core when you go in the double down casing or the DH casing. Okay, and there's the differences between those two. I believe Maxxis has EXO Plus casing. We just got off that rip. That was pretty intense. I'm talking through this, but what we just went down, that was pretty fun. But back to the tires. So Maxxis's tires have a lot of rolling resistance. Okay, they are not the best race tire. Okay, and so they do have a race tire, but it's hard to get if you're not a racer. Some of the stuff that you see, like say, I've been following a guy named Nino Schwerto, for XC. You look in these people, look to see who's the fastest in the world, and you want to sort of, mimic their bikes. So they seem to be pretty well spec'd out. And so you want those type. I want that type of, ride feel, even though I'm not as fast. But you never know. I might actually get that fast one day. And I want to see what they're riding. And so if you look at, Maxxis has a race tire called the Aspen Race, but you can't get it. You have to get it or directly from them. You have to be a racer in order to get that. Okay. There's some things that you just can't get that a normal racer can get. Like for example, the Trek Session that I had, no one could get it. Like I could not get that bike unless you are a racer, like a professional racer. And then by accident, they shipped one to Detroit, and I told Trek to keep a lookout. So I have certain bikes, they come open to give me this bicycle. Okay. When it comes in, let me know when this bike, if you ever find one that nobody wants or whatever. I'm not a racer, but I like that bicycle. I like Trek stuff. And so, sure enough, like a week or two later, they said, oh, there is one in Detroit. I got an email from Trek. and they don't ship them, so I had to go up to Detroit. Ride. I think it wasn't too bad of a ride. My wife had a good time in Detroit, matter of fact. About, 8 hours, or probably longer than that. I think it takes longer than that to get to Detroit. But about 8 hours, we went and I picked up my trek session.
I don't have that. Let's try that.
And the funny part about it is, what I noticed about doing YouTube is when I get a bicycle, okay, I noticed everyone else starts getting the bicycle, and my bike shops weren't carrying. You couldn't get a Trek Slash in my area, okay, or even in Pittsburgh for that matter, okay, because you don't really need that type of bike. You don't need an Enduro. Matter of fact, I don't even ride my Slash really. It's just basically a bike park bike, because I'm starting to learn that bikes are for different terrains, and so like I don't hardly ride the Slash. I don't ride the Session because it's a bike park or heavy, chunky riding. And so too much anymore. And so kind of have two bikes I don't really ride. Yeah, so but anyway, back to getting the bicycle. So yeah, so I noticed now that I'm riding these bicycles, I'm getting a little following. I mean, it wasn't my intention, but when I started it, but the last week in snowshoe, or the last few weeks in snowshoe, I noticed that everyone has my session. I'm like, how in the world? How'd they get this session? I couldn't find one, but now I noticed that Trek made a bunch of sessions, and they're sitting into my area. And now, I swear to God, I bet there was like 12 sessions that look exactly like mine. I was like so mad. Maybe I should just open a bike shop or something, because I think I'm selling these sessions. Even Dorado Pros, like Manitou, the inverted fork, they weren't. I don't think the guys were selling too many of those. I'm gonna just say on the limb, I try not to make influence. The influencing thing my business. 'Cause I always want to keep it fun. For the most part, basically I'm just documenting my journey of health, but I'm seeing that, I'm selling these bicycles for these companies. I'm like, maybe I should make my own bike. I'm a business person, y'all. I'm not, and yes, now I'm getting, I go to some of my bike shops. They're, they're trying to help me out now. I'm starting to get little discounts and stuff. I believe I'm selling some bikes. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. But I don't want people to have my same bicycle. I want my own identity. Even this bike I'm riding, people are mortgaging their houses because this is expensive. These bikes are freaking expensive. The one I have is worth $18,000. The one I'm riding right now. That's how much I put into this bicycle. And there's a reason why I spend that much money. I do not want it to break. I mean, we're going out far. And if you don't have the right components on it, like heavy duty, this is not a weight weenie bike. This bike is like heavy, and I like it that way for a reason. It keeps it on the ground. I don't get hurt. I want to make it back. It's for a certain purpose. And so that's why I spend the money on these bicycles. I do not want it to break. I'll take the rolling resistance hit on the tires if I don't get a flat. And I've never, ever got a flat since I switched to double down and DH casing on Maxxis. Okay. What I'm finding, though, back to tires again, is that I'm experienced with the Vittoria tires, and you'll see more videos with that. And I'm experienced with the Chablais. I don't know how to Chablais tires. And so on my XC bike, I'm experimenting with something called a Thunderbird. It's along the same line of the Aspen Race. You can't get it. I just got lucky because no one was buying the tires. Some company, I put like feelers out. I email different bike shops in areas, and I asked them, if you ever get a Thunderbird race, because that's the race version of the Chablais tires, and give me a call. And they gave me a call. Like from place in Colorado that has a bike shop, because I don't think anyone would want to ride the Chablais there. But believe it or not, I mean, this tire is like paper thin. I'm so scared when I ride on it. I'm going to get a flat. but I have not gotten a flat on that tire yet. And I want it flat, and that's my whole purpose. And I'm going to show you videos on that as well. And it doesn't have very much grip in the middle, but it's the fastest rolling tire on the planet. Okay, the Thunderburst Race are the fastest rolling tire on the planet. Okay, for XC, that is. Okay, for an XC bike, and I would say downcountry. And as long as it's not too muddy, it can go. It can ride. You'll check my video. Be sure to subscribe. I was testing it out at a race, the Mount Wood Challenge at Mount Wood in near Parkersburg there, and I was scared, because I was going to flat because it just has seemed like no protection on it. Like it's just like paper thin. Like you can actually see the light through it. But I had not got a flat on it, and I'm hitting just sharpest objects ever, but it has not popped yet or burst or anything. And so, but anyway, I'm gonna say it's the fastest rolling tire ever. I've never gone just my times have increased to 2 miles per hour, just normal riding, on it. And now there's some caveats, you don't feel quite as confident bombing down like a rough section, but it takes it. It just doesn't feel like it's so light. The tires are so light. To give you an example how light they are, I think they don't even weigh a pound. Like the tires itself don't weigh a pound.
Oh, shoot.
And then if you watch some of the other videos on the Revel Ranger, because I'm trying to make a very light XC bike that can hold my weight, and find components that are light but are really strong. And so I've just gotten a set of bird spoke wheels, their newest option, and these jokers are light. I feel like I'm not even on the ground. I'm not even touching the ground because the spokes aren't metal spokes. They're some type of space age nylon or something. And it's very, very weird, and you don't get any vibration through your hands. It's weird. And so my Revel Ranger before weighed 28 pounds. Now it weighs 22 pounds just by placing the wheels and the tires. And I even have cush core inside of them. I have a cush core inside the rims. Okay, so on those particular wheels on my Revel Ranger. So I'm just giving us a little preview, a little taste if you want to, add something, if you want to take a look at that video when it comes out. Just hit the notification button. If you don't want to subscribe, hit the notification button because it will at least put a cookie or something, if you know what that is, or bookmark in your browser. And whenever I release something, you'll get just a little message on the top right hand corner of your screen. Windows, or it doesn't matter if it's Windows or Mac or Linux. It does the same on each. Pretty cool. I didn't know it did that. You could do that on YouTube. So you don't have to subscribe, not a big deal. But if you wanted to see that, you just hit the notification bell. It's getting dark. I think we're coming to a close now. It's a good ride. You can see the lights on. The GoPro's making it brighter with their artificial light with the ISO. And so I don't have a light on, but Doug behind me does, and it's really bright. These guys come prepared. But thanks, Adam and Doug, for showing me this and ripping this up. It was very, very fun. Of course, you'll see I ride with Adam all the time on the e-bikes. So he's like the master of e-bike speed. So, but anyway, that's it. If I haven't before, thank you for subscribing. Back at the parking lot here. And check the link if you want to know where this is. There's multiple parking spaces here, so. Anyways, that's it. Be safe out there.
Maybe I need some light. I like that light behind me. Oh, it's too light. Woo. Woo.
That was fun. Time to go home and get yelled at.
Every time you ride with me, you get yelled at.
Every time.